part 4, and I've added more content for us to work with. What I've got set up here is I've got set up some text document, or a text document that we're going to end up loading. I'm going to show you how to load external text, make it work with the UI scroll component, and we're going to customize the component a little bit, and that's kind of where we're going to start. And I'm going to go ahead and set up a scroll bar layer on top of this right here. So I'm just going to put this up and put bottom right, scroll area, external text. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and paste this in here and slide this over. Alright, probably to about maybe right there. I'm going to size this up in a minute. But what we're going to do is really, I don't know, I really just wanted to show you how to do some external text and show you how easy it is, because ultimately when you have control over your entire text on your site, it makes it a little bit easier for editing. You don't have to go into make the proper adjustments in every single file across your entire site. So that's what I wanted to show you how to do. I've got my rectangle tool. Really, I'm just going to kind of draw a square in here across this entire plane. Not necessarily the full plane, but just about that. Alright, I'm going to lighten this up a little bit. The stroke isn't looking how I want it to look, so I'm going to punch up the alpha on this. It's a little too bright. Oops. Bring that back down a little bit. Alright, there we go. And I don't even know if I'll end up hanging on to that text right there, or that color. I don't know why it's doing that. Just trying to attach to the movie clip up there. Alright, ultimately I wanted attaching to this. Okay. Alright, so with the height of this, if we take a peek at this, alright, the height is at 146, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to size my scroll bar to be 146 also. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to show you how to do this with code. But just kind of make it look, you know, aligned on the as a part of the stage, okay? And what we need to do is we need to give the scroll component an instance name also that we can reference through ActionScript. So what I'm going to do is going to give this an instance name of scroll underscore comp, okay? As a matter of fact, we don't even need this on stage. Huh. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Alright, so we've got our little text area in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this. I'm going to hit F8. Let's call this text underscore BG for the text background. Okay. Have that as its own movie clip. And now I'm going to get my text tool out just by hitting T on the keyboard. Dynamic text. I'm going to make this a light text here. And the size, we'll keep that at 10. You can come back and change it. Let's see, what else can we do? You want multi-line selected. I'm going to line left. Orientation's good. All this other stuff is good. I'll leave this up to you if you want it selectable. Just allow somebody to come in and click and drag to copy your text that's on your site. Alright. For readability is good. We'll probably end up deselecting the auto kern. We'll get to that if we need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click right here. That's static text. I need dynamic text. Let's see, am I doing something wrong here? Okay, I'm going to grab this layer right here. I'm just going to go ahead and draw a little text out on the stage. Alright, well, since I can't get it, for some reason my rendering settings are messed up right now, so I'm just going to make that dynamic manually. Alright, so I'm just going to click and drag this out in the stage just like that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this text. Now, I know we can't see that too well, but if you select in there, you will be able to see it. Alright, and we need to give that an instance name also. So what we're going to call this is we're just going to call this text underscore field. Alright, and let's see. What can we do here? What do we need to do? Got the scroll comp. Well, for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some regular text out here on the stage. I'm just going to call this, you know, Okay, obviously that'll probably look different when it gets going, but okay, so here's what we're going to do. We need to get some actions. All right, I'm just going to grab the same layer that our text box is on right here. Okay, I'm going to write the actions on this layer. So what I'm going to do is, open this up, and we're going to go ahead and set up the text to load in. Okay, so we're going to say import fl.controls.ui scrollbar semicolon. All right. I'll tell you what. Well, I guess I could show you how to do this both ways. All right. Take your scroll component. Go ahead and delete it off the stage. All right. And I'm going to show you how to generate this through ActionScript as opposed to having it sit on stage, and then I'll show you how to have it on stage. All right. So to generate a scroll component from your library, all right. Now keep in mind that once you bring that scroll component onto stage, what it does is it brings the scroll component and all its assets with it. Okay, basically puts it in this folder. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have that component generate from ActionScript. So we can do that by saying var scroll underscore comp colon UI scroll bar equals new UI scroll bar opening closing parentheses semicolon. All right, we need to add it to the stage. Add child opening parentheses scroll underscore comp. And what we're doing right here is we're referencing the instance name that we're giving it by generating it through ActionScript. Okay. So the next thing is to actually set what we want the scroll component to attach to. And what we can do is we can set it as scroll underscore comp dot scroll target equals text underscore field, because if you remember, that is the instance name to our text field right here. All right. Text field. All right. And the next thing that we need to say is scroll underscore comp dot height. And we're going to base this off of the text field, text underscore field dot height, semicolon, next line, scroll underscore comp dot move. We're going to tell it where to move. We're going to say open parentheses, text underscore field dot x plus text underscore field dot width, comma, text underscore field dot y. Oops. Field dot dot y. Closing parentheses, semicolon. All right. Okay. So what we're doing right here is we're setting the scroll comp to attach to this whatever side we tell it to on the text field. Okay. So automatically, no matter what size the text field is, the scroll component is going to be that size. All right. And we set the size of it by saying the scroll component height is going to be equal to the text field height. Okay? And then we're going to tell the scroll component to move to a specific side of the text field. So when we state text field X, okay, so the text field's X axis, okay, is obviously going to be right here. All right? So when we say, text field dot X plus text field width, what we're doing is we're adding on the width of the text box from the X axis, basically placing that over here on this side. Okay, so that's what we're doing. And then obviously we say text field Y as just for throwing it in there. Okay, all right. Let's see, what can we do? Okay, we need to set up the file path to the text document. All right, so we can say var text underscore file path underscore path colon string equals opening quotation marks, text underscore docs / text underscore doc dot txt, closing quotation marks, semicolon. All right, the reason why I put text docs, all right, if you check out the folder, we've got text docs folder right here, otherwise known as a directory. And then, of course, the file name is text doc, all right, .txt. So that's how we set the file path. So what we can do here is create the loader for the text loader. All right, so we can say var text underscore loader colon URL loader equals new URL loader opening closing parentheses semicolon, next line. You need to set up a event listener for when the text is complete or text loading is complete. Text loader dot add event listener opening parentheses event dot complete in all caps comma text underscore load underscore complete as the listener or the function name, closing parentheses, semicolon. next line, text underscore loader dot load, opening parentheses, this is just another way of loading, okay, new URL request, opening parentheses, we're going to reference our text file path, closing parentheses, semicolon. All right, so what we need to do now is we need to state what this means. We're basically going to define what this listener is. All right, so here we go. We're going to say function text underscore load underscore complete, opening parentheses, event with a lowercase e, event with a capital E, closing parentheses, colon void, opening bracket, next line, text underscore field dot text equals event dot current target dot data as string, semicolon, scroll underscore comp dot update, opening closing parentheses, semicolon, text underscore field dot condense white equals true, semicolon, next line, closing bracket. Okay, so what we're saying here is whenever you state text underscore field, like your instance name of your text box, dot text, you're basically going to tell it what it is equal to, okay? And what we're doing is we're basically stating the data inside of our string, okay? So basically what we're referencing is the text inside of the text document. All right, when we tell the scroll comp to update, we basically want the scroll comp to read the amount of text and the amount of scrolling that it has to do, so it's going to continuously update to that amount of text, all right? And of course, text field dot condense white, what that means is basically it's going to ignore all the white space, okay? All right, I guess I could manually show you how to manually through ActionScript set up the text in a background color if you needed it. All right, all this stuff below is going to be pretty much optional. All right, text underscore field dot text color equals, and all you have to do is put a hex color. All right, for example, if I wanted it to be white, I could just put like that. All right, text underscore field dot selectable equals false, semicolon, text underscore field dot background equals true, semicolon, text underscore field dot background color equals, and if you wanted to set this to something like white, all you have to do is that. Obviously that wouldn't work. I'm just kind of putting examples in here for you. Text underscore field dot word wrap equals true, semicolon, text underscore field dot multiline equals true. All right, so basically that would kind of set the color of the text to white. It would set the background space. Actually, I can show you what this means. I'll make this red. All right, so I think if we were to publish this right now, we can see some text. All right, obviously I set the background to red, okay, and the text to white. And obviously the scroll bar is looking kind of good, just how it is. So we know that's working. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all this good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And let's go ahead and take a peek at that now. All right, the default colors and settings, okay. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back down into my target. You don't have to do this. I'm just going to remove this so you don't have to, so I don't have to hurry up. I can kind of show you what I'm doing. All right, I'm just going to come back up here, grab this ActionScript, see how this looks. Okay, obviously down here in this corner, well, we need to make that not selectable. Obviously down here in this corner, I've got some touching up to do, okay? It's very easy. All I have to do is just resize it a little bit, because what's happening is this scroll component is actually latching onto this text, which isn't as big as this movie clip.